What's up, y'all? It's Marcellus Wiley, that dude. Let's talk about the Shannon Sharpe allegations, but take a deeper dive and a different dive. Every now and then I reserve the right to go off the reservation, or shall I say, have a conspiracy theory. Been tying some things together because it just doesn't sit right with me. And one thing about me, when my spidey sense go off, I gotta do my work, do my homework, do my research to shut it up. And something just ain't right. With the timing of the settlement offer, the allegations, and even the temporary leave of absence with Shannon Sharpe and ESPN. So if y'all walk with me, let's figure this thing out together, because I'm going to lean on y'all to beat it up in the comments and let me know what's going on. Because it all blew up in one weekend, and boy, was it a weird, wild weekend last weekend. All right, so let me just start it off by saying there are two things at play right here. Either A, Shannon got played by Jane Doe, Gabriella Zuniga. And I think universally we all can say that, not going into the innocence and guilt of the allegations, just like, yo, you got played, dog. Or, maybe or, Shannon and we, us, you and me, are getting played as well. And I never thought about that, but my spidey sense is going off for some strange reason. Okay, so we all know about the report of a $100 million deal for Shannon Sharpe and his king empire of Shay Media. Duh, made a ton of sense. But now as I look back on it, that $100 million deal was reported. And did she know that that deal was happening? Or she didn't know? Because on Friday, it was reported, and on Sunday, she filed. Now, I could get a work week, Monday through Friday, but then you're going to file on a Sunday? What happened between Friday and Sunday? So, this extortion angle that Shannon and his lawyers have chosen could either be A, cover, let's inflate his worth before this hits, because we know it's going to hit negotiations that broken down in settlement, or B, which is worse, probably, someone with knowledge of these negotiations and the settlement offers leaked it to the public to blow up Shannon Sharpe's potential deal. Someone knew that he was in line for $100 million and leaked it to blow up the negotiations and the settlement, the mediation, and to deflate his value. So now you're not gonna get $100 million because all this gonna hit the fan. Maybe one of the suitors did that or someone close to Shannon Sharpe. So I just wanted to set that up. That's just setting up the tone. Now let's walk through this, shall we? Y'all got to go back with me to when I was at Fox, and the executive pulled me to the side, because when I was at Fox, I was just like this, man. I'm just trying to get in and out of there. I just had my newborn, my kids, and all that stuff. I had 3 little ones. I'm trying to go be a coach and chauffeur. I ain't got time to be talking to all y'all. That's why I didn't know so much of the stuff that was going on behind the scenes, because I wasn't trying to hear it, because I wasn't about it. But I do remember an executive pulling me to the side and saying, man, it's a damn shame they making this negotiation about race. I was like, what you talking about? And it was the Shannon Sharpe negotiation with Skip Bayless. Do you guys remember this? Stop making it about skin color. Shannon Sharpe should not make Skip Bayless money. There's a big conversation about this. I read this real quick. According to a report, FS1's Shannon Sharpe's expiring contract this summer, anonymous sources told Front Office Sports, remember that, Front Office Sports, that Sharpe should make the same amount of money as his undisputed co-host Skip Bayless, claiming it would look bad if the black co-host doesn't make the same as the white. All right. They were talking about a country wrestling with racial inequality or equality. Fox has an incredible opportunity to make a statement. One of the sources said, give Shannon Sharpe a contract that is equal pay for equal work. Do you really want to be paying a black man half that what his white co-host, co-star is making? That's a tough look these days. All right. Remember that? I remember that. That's where we're going to start. So that exec was pissed because he was like, that's Shannon's camp leaking that. Now, you can't hold him to the fire of that. But he was like, who else will report that? Who else will go on that and be anonymous and say that? So they were trying to establish a relationship between Shannon Sharpe and Front Office Sports, and the fact that they were trying to make these negotiations racial. When most people would say, well, Skip gave him the opportunity, and even though Shannon's the bigger star, Skip is the reason why that show goes, and he has this opportunity. So a lot of people were going back and forth. No matter where you sided, did he deserve what Skip deserved? All right, that's part one. Keep walking. Then let's go all the way to when he was released from Fox. Remember there was a conversation about him reaching a buyout? Remember this? Shannon Sharpe reaches buyout agreement with Fox Sports. Will leave undisputed after NBA Finals. Okay, we cool with that. We get it. Y'all, you know, you had the incident with the Memphis Grizzlies. You and Skip blew up on air. We get it. It's time to go. But then you remember what happened for real? Like, it's almost like what's being reported, but what's reality? Remember when Stephen A. Smith blew up his spot and said, yeah, he got fired? We were like, got fired. And then everybody went at Stephen A. like, why you tell your boy business? He been saying he was bought out and it was mutually agreed. And then Stephen A. Smith leaked it, went there and said, nah, he got fired. And I gave him an opportunity. Okay? Keep walking with me. That's two. There was a conversation about Club Shay Shay and the ownership. I know that because I had a conversation with Shannon about it. And he was like, oh, man, I've always owned Club Shay Shay. I was like, damn, that's weird because nobody owns them Fox podcasts. Don't believe me? Ask Nick Wright, who just had to negotiate to get out of his to get it on the volume with Colin Cowherd, which Club Shay Shay is on the volume with Colin Cowherd. So me and him just had a conversation. I've been told y'all about this, so I ain't snitching. I was just like, oh, well, news to me, big dog. I thought they owned all of them because they were trying to give me one and they wanted part ownership as well. Whatever. Let's keep walking. Okay. So now we find out that Shannon Sharpe from like early February to April was going through mediation for a couple of months. And that mediation obviously didn't go as well as desired because Shannon, one, didn't come to a mediation settlement. He didn't get the offer accepted, whether it was $10 million or more. But more importantly, he switched lawyers. Now, I don't know exactly when he switched lawyers, but he switched lawyers. Let's keep going, y'all. Those negotiations blow up. Now you got your new current lawyer. And somewhere between all of that, boom, $100 million is reported. And I wonder who reported it. Did I tell y'all? Y'all remember? This is a trivia question. This is a quiz. Remember who leaked the racial negotiations? Same one who leaked these negotiations. Shannon Sharpe eyes $100 million podcast deal as volume contract expires. Front office sports. Okay. You know, maybe you got somebody in there that's the homie. Maybe it's not Shannon Sharpe. But coincidence. On that Friday, that comes out. Then on a non-work day, on a Sunday, a lawsuit is filed by Jane Doe, a.k.a. Gabriella Zuniga. Okay? Then all of a sudden, Monday, Shannon firing bullets at her, leaking text messages. She fired back, got audio, more text, more audio. We like, damn. And the biggest issue I think most people had was he coming out with the Jay-Z approach, but this ain't the Jay-Z situation. Why you even bring him up? Jay-Z sat there knowing, one, he never met the girl. But two, there could be no more ammunition from their side, the opposite side, the plaintiff side, against him. Because the allegations were like 20 years old. He's like, if they had something, they would have shot it in the 20 years that lapsed. But no, they didn't. So it was a complete different situation with Shannon and Jay-Z, which was weird and odd. And that's what kind of started my spidey sense going. And then he did the video. And that made me even more riled up because I was like, what is going on here? This ain't adding up. And then that obviously culminated in a few days to where he's taking a temporary leave of absence from ESPN. And we all got a chance to see his statement, AKA this screenshot, which, you know, a lot of people were clowning like, dog, you're supposed to write this. You ain't supposed to screenshot it, but whatever. But he says, at this juncture, I'm electing to step aside temporarily from my ESPN duties. I'll be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against me. I plan to return to ESPN to start the NFL preseason. Sincerely appreciate the overwhelming and ongoing support I have received from my family, fans, friends, and colleagues, okay? Let me not leave out the first statement because it had nothing to do with my point, but it is a point. My statement is found here, and this is the truth. The relationship in question was 100% consensual. Okay, but here's the problem. So you step away from ESPN, which you don't own, obviously, because you wanted to devote time to your family and respond in dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against you. But then you're still doing Club Shay Shay, which you do own, in part with the volume. I think it was a 50-50 deal, but whatever. You own Club Shay Shay. That deal's expiring with the volume. And you own all the other entities under Shay Shay Media, and Nightcap included. And then my spidey sense was like, somebody who's not going to work at ESPN is still going to work everywhere else that they own. Now, you do the equation, the logical equation of you still are devoting time to work. So it's not a time conversation for your family or for you to deal with the allegations. You're still working. You're on Nightcap. You're on Club Shay Shay. But you're not working at ESPN. And the only difference, because it's more of a commitment to do the Shay Shay, more of a commitment in time to do Nightcap, you're not doing ESPN for one reason, because you don't own it. So that means they told you something. Maybe you got in front of it and said, hey, I think I need to step away. And they was like, yeah, you read our mind at best. But when Stephen A came out, and didn't have your back like he had Jay-Z's back, everybody was sitting there like, I don't know about this, big dog. I don't know. Let me sum this up for you guys. Because either Shannon got played, which we all can agree on. Yeah, Gabriella got him. Innocent or guilty. She got him. But more, are we getting played in terms of the sympathy, in terms of really giving Shannon a benefit of doubt? Because we are part of getting played as well. Okay? Think about it. All the things I just said, and you sum it up to say, was this a cover? The $100 million being leaked? Was this a cover to show the extortion angle? Was this somebody really sabotaging Shannon Sharpe and deflating his value? Because as soon as that got out, no quicker than they could hit send, negotiations fizzle and he's getting sued. Coincidence? I don't know. And then, could it be even worse? We are being used and played in the process as well in the court of public opinion to say, oh, because you remember when it first hit the allegations, oh, she got Tony Busby, and they just said that Shannon was getting paid, and now look how they act. Beat it up in the comments. Tell me what you think. I just threw everything at you guys. I wanted to give one of those conspiracy theory spitballs out there because I'm just tying it together. I'm like, front office sports, then helping Shannon in negotiation, front office sports now helping Shannon in negotiation, whether it's intentional, coincidental, or not. It's kind of interesting. Draw your own conclusions. But I just wanted to give you the pen, the pencil, the art, to draw those conclusions. All right, well, you know, on this show, best way I can get some answers is to flow. A little levity to the situation. I just thought that was really interesting. There was a lot of stuff going on. This is intriguing to me. It's only been a week. Man, this thing gonna be a movie when it's done. Well, without further ado, let's get our flow on. What style? Oh, we're gonna get it going. Oh, this gonna be the best. I'm telling y'all right now. Yeah, Shannon, yeah, I don't know what to think. I just been talking, player. Conspiracy theory, I don't know. Just putting pieces together, you know, dots, connect them. But I don't like to talk it, I like to rap it. So let's talk to this. Uncle Shannon, well, you talking slick, caught in a twist. Gabriella hit that wallet, plot with a kiss. Mwah. Fans rooting heavy, man, clapping and praying. But Shannon out here finessing. Why he playing? Trying to about race at that Fox negotiation. Pulled that card for that crowd ovation. But Stephen A said, boy, you got cut. Ain't no buyout handshake, just a door slammed shut. Said he free, but he working overtime. Club Shay Shay popping, nightcap on the line. Leaving ESPN, oh, he calling it a choice. But contracts talk louder than Uncle's voice. Played by that girl, played by the scene. Played the fans dirty like a football scheme. So the dream, but the numbers don't match. 100 million deal, sound like cap, biatch. 100 mil dreams, champagne hopes, but no real receipts, just clickbait quotes. Ooh. Talk like a boss, but still clocking hours. Independent moves under corporate towers. Gabby played Unc. Man, she got her bag. Meanwhile, Unc finessed us with a sad flag. Talking about freedom, but it's chains in disguise. Just traded one logo for a new set of lies. Unc said he up, Unc said he good, but real bosses move different. Understood, yeah. Respect the grind, but we see through the mist. Next time you just say you got played and she got rich. Finesse on finesse, game on game. Unc took that bag, but we peeped the name. Love you, Unc, still, but don't twist them facts. This wasn't a revolution, just contracts. Contracts. I really don't know what's going on, but you know I am, right? It's been a decade plus that I knew that this day was going to come.
Oh, this is not hyperbole here. Because I believe it's the purpose.
Time to hydrate. Hydration's the situation, so.